Okay. No makeup. Woo! Alright. So this is the third time or fourth time, I can't even keep count, that I'm filming this video because it is about spirituality. And I have notes. I don't know where I put my notes. This is a very important topic, a very personal topic, and it's also a very weird topic to talk about. But as I said in the first video that I put out about just wanting to change old patterns and behaviors, that I would possibly make like 3 videos. And so this is the third. I had a spiritual awakening. Yay! Whatever that may mean to you, but to me, that's a good thing. It's been tough because I didn't really know that a spiritual awakening would entail having to uncover parts of myself that I did not like and change them, as much as I thought it was like I finally know what God is, and like all these wonderful things coming down. It's not always that. It is that, but it's not always that. So let me look at my notes to actually get across my point, because the reason why I'm filming this so many times, I have filmed this so many times, is because the videos were very long before and convoluted, so I needed to take notes and make it make sense. All right. So basically, a spiritual awakening is about coming into yourself and having the confidence to be you authentically. And many people associate that with God, with religion, with the universe, with energy, anything that you kind of base your belief structure on. And sometimes that might not even be like a religious thing or a Christian thing, anything like that. So basically, a spiritual awakening is just like coming back into yourself and knowing finally like that you can stand in your own power. For me, it's been a lot about learning how to love myself unconditionally, and then through that, learning how to love others unconditionally. Before I said that, I've had friends and loved ones, family members in the past that are difficult to get along with. They're difficult to get along with, like anybody else would be. So for me, instead of burning bridges like I always do, I had to learn how to love that person at the stage of life that they're in. So that's hard. The work also of unpacking all the programming from religion and from society and from just like cultural things, it's also a lot of work, because you can't get to a place where you love someone unconditionally or even yourself unconditionally if you've got all of this programming that's like covering up who you really are. For example, like um if you're a person that is constantly telling yourself, I'm not good enough, I'm not smart enough, I'm not pretty enough, that's all programming to some degree. And whether or not like you realize it, it takes a toll on your spirit. And that can lead to a lot of negative behaviors, such as like, you know, drinking to get away from the pain of not having to feel like a failure, or like if you're overweight, like constantly like eating stuff or like binging, which I used to do a lot in the past. I used to drink a lot too in the past to like get over emotional stuff. And just having to recognize, hey, these are the behaviors that I've been doing all this time to deal with certain things, but I need to stop those behaviors and actually look at what is the cause of those what is the cause of those things that's making me want to hide and run from, dealing with that. So I had to go back to the source and like deal with those like very, very integral issues of why I treat people the way I do, why I treat myself the way I do. And it's not easy. It's not. It's really, really hard. Especially like if your ego is at play and you're like, oh, I don't really have any problems. I'm like perfect. Like it's other people that are doing crazy stuff. Well, no, like typically if you are having a tough time with someone, yeah, they could do something, but ultimately, it's you who has the power to let that get to you or to let it take you away. So you have just as much responsibility in any situation as anyone else does. And that sounds like real contrary to a lot of like beliefs in a lot of different situations, because like if it's a dangerous situation, like you had no control over it, well, like you still have to kind of take responsibility for learning the lesson of, yeah, maybe next time I won't put myself in a dangerous situation. And it's not to say that it's your fault or anything. It's just to say that we have to be honest with ourselves now as like people and as like a human race to sit down and say we have just as much responsibility in things as the other party. With regards to whatever that is, we have just as much responsibility to take with the other party, whether our actions were intending to be positive or negative or what. So, yeah. So, my other notes, I think I just wanted to say like a lot of the messaging that I got through this spiritual awakening really resonated with me, because a lot of it was love yourself, trust yourself, just be kind to yourself. And that's always difficult for me in particular because I'm so critical of myself. And aren't we all? Aren't we all? I have this need to be perfect. I have this need to be perfect so that like people will accept me. I have this need to get along with everybody, to make sure that everybody loves me, everybody like can depend on me, and that I never show like a bad side of myself. But that's not being me authentically whatsoever. That's just wanting someone to see a certain side of me. And we all have masks that we present to people, but I want to feel more like 100% of myself. I don't ever want to hide a part of me away, because all part of me's are me. Like whether you like it or not, all part of like I can respect every facet of my personality and every facet of my life. And I own it and I love it. Now, now I've done the work to own it and love it. So I told myself for like a very long time that like I wasn't enough. Like I was never pretty enough. I was never thin enough. I was never smart enough. I was never talented enough. Just so many things, so many different things. And a lot of it is because like I did grow up mostly alone. Like I have siblings, like older and younger, but for the most part I was kind of raised in the same way that an only child would be raised, and a lot of my um, cousins were older than me. So I grew up alone a lot, or I spent a lot of time alone. Let's say that. I did have friends, very few friends that looked like me in the beginning. I can recall like one or two friends from throughout elementary school, but I was basically like the only black kid in school for a long time, and I was also the only black kid that was into very different things from the other black kids that I would see, and I was also overweight, so I'm still overweight. It's not like it's changed or anything. It's just I've learned to love my body a lot more. But I was very different from everybody, from everything that I knew to be normal. So I felt really out of place and like really just weird and kind of kept to myself and just like was interested in my little Sailor Moon anime stuff and like did my own thing drawing and reading. So I was a very quiet kid, very like didn't like big crowds or anything, and I didn't like to go out and be social at all. So now I'm completely opposite, completely opposite of that. Um, I, I kind of don't like large crowds only because it's hot. And I can't deal with heat. I can't deal with heat. But aside from that, so yeah, like everybody else, you tell yourself a whole bunch of like lies and stuff and just stories, and they compound and they seem like the truth, and at some point you get tired of it. At some point you're just like, you know what? You keep saying I'm stupid, but I don't feel like I'm stupid, you know? Or you keep saying I'm ugly, but I don't feel like I'm ugly. Like that's how you get at a certain point. You're just like, you know what? No. I'm going to take back this narrative. I'm going to take back this storyline, and I'm going to like start living my life and being the kind of person that I want to be. And you can't tell me who I am. I know who I am. So that's how I've been feeling for the past couple of years. Slowly but surely, it's been going that way until this year, where it was just like this big boom of like, oh, I get it now. Oh, all of the things that I've been like kind of seeing in my life happen, and all of these like synchronicities that are happening. I'm like, oh, wow. I am like a cosmic superhero. I do have like all of the power of the universe within me because like I've got all these millions and trillions of cells and atoms and like neutrons and protons and all that running through coursing through my veins. I've got all this like cosmic energy, and I can do anything. Like I can actually do anything. Like that's such a powerful thought, a powerful realization when you're like when you've been raised, well, not raised, but like when you've been just like told so many things throughout your life, like you can't, you can't, you can't. And then all of a sudden you're like, wait, actually I can. It feels so good. It really does. Um, so yeah, it just, at this point of my spiritual awakening, there's a lot of other things that come with a spiritual awakening. And you can look on YouTube, you can see tons of people talk about their different situations, whether that be like being able to communicate with other higher beings of higher vibrations, or being able to channel like different messages. Like that actually happens. Um, I personally would like to keep my personal experiences to myself because they're personal. It's for me. You know, I do want to share in the fact that I am going through a spiritual awakening. I hope that people take the time to realize that they have their own journeys in life and that they can also kind of work through their spiritual awakenings and know that it's tough, but it's beneficial for your life, so much more so than you think. And if you do the work, you'll start to see so many doors and so many more opportunities, so many like thoughts open to you, you know, and to the people around you too. It's so nice to finally be like, or to finally feel a sense of peace with myself, and to know that I can I can take charge now. I can be the person I've always wanted to be now. And it's so great. It's so great. I can't even explain. It's just amazing. So yeah. So as always, be courageous, be curious, but always be kind. Be kind to yourself and be kind to others. Yeah, and I'll see you next time. Bye.